Hi creative friends, this is Freya and thank you so much for being here. So I am going to dive right in and I was looking at this spread before I turned my camera on, and I have to tell you that I am really loving a lot of what is going on here. That is actually just kind of just came from my portrait. Like I didn't even do some of the stuff that I'm really loving. So yeah, I encourage you guys to work over your art because you never know what is going to happen. Like you just don't know how things are going to affect what you are creating, and really interesting wild stuff can happen that you might really enjoy. So I'm just gonna kind of put the red over there, and I'm not making like too many details right now. I'm just still building up the form. And you guys, I mentioned this when I did my my series on still lives, is that because I work in shorter increments, this is absolutely perfect for when you have like chores to do, because you can, go do something and then come back. You can work on it for 15 minutes, go do something, come back. And that really seems to work well for me. And I'm just kind of building up the apple here. And I am going to drop just a little bit of the ink, of my Liquitex ink, just a very little bit, onto the fabric for the shadows. And I mentioned this in my other still life, is that when you're doing shadows, you go from left to right like this because shadows are flat. That's how I learned how to do it. Because shadows fall flat. So when you're making the motion, it's just like so. And, you can use different colors. I've seen purple being used. I really love ultramarine blue, but also burnt sienna. And let me just kind of go like this. And this is kind of interesting the way this is turning out, you guys, because I'm really using a lot of grays, which I didn't intentionally mean to use, but there was quite a lot of grays on the page already. So that affected, the way it turned out. And that's what I mean. When you work this way, whatever's on the page is going to affect like whatever you put over top of it. So it really ends up creating a lot of interesting details. And even my color palette, like, see, this is from the portrait over there, but I really love that. I just love that little piece there. It makes me happy. It just kind of like, it echoes the apple, the red of the apple, and the orange, the yellow over here, that echoes the yellow over here. So yeah, some really interesting kind of things happened. Now for the bowl, I am going to keep that blue over there, but I was going to go for gray, but I think there's already a lot of grays, but I still want this apple to dominate. So I think what I am going to do is I'm going to go for like a brown, like so I'm going to use my Liquitex here. Just because there's already like way too much gray on here, so I don't want to kind of, although that would be a really good still life to do where you just did everything in grays. That would actually be a really challenging kind of still life to do. Actually, that gave me an idea. I might want to do that at some point. That would really help me strengthen my knowledge and use of values. So I am going to leave that blue over there. And remember, that blue was from the dress of the lady of my 100-day portrait project. And I'm just gonna kind of, now I am going to get rid of this blue because I want the bowl to kind of be separated. Ooh, that's a juicy color wash right there. This little bit here. And I think I'm just gonna kind of go like so. So I'm gonna add some orange, you guys, just a little bit here. And I'm just gonna build up my apple. So as you can see, you guys, I really didn't use a whole lot of red in this apple. I mean, I did use red, but I'm using like so many other colors as well. Now this is alizarin crimson, and I am gonna kind of put a little bit on there, like so. So you guys, I'm gonna work on the bowl just a little bit, and then I am gonna let things dry. I'm really liking this burnt sienna for the bowl, actually. So I'm not going to put too much detail on that, you guys, because remember I said the further back something is, the less detail it has. So yeah, I think that's gonna be just fine the way it is. So I hope you guys see how it is shaping up here. So anyways, you guys, if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much. And I think I'm gonna let this completely dry, and I'm gonna come back and work on it just a little bit more. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.